Will do over a number of laps, but right now try telling the drivers it's anything other than wet. So here's the front row. Victor Martin, championship leader from Caio Collet, Frenchman from Brazilian. Then Franco Colapinto from Argentina, and Swiss racer Grégoire Saucy form row 2. Alex Quinn, the top rookie, in 5th for Arden, and Amaury Cordial alongside. Hugo de Wilde, another Belgian, in 7th, and Cas Havercourt, a rookie on his debut in 8th. Hadrian David and Timon van der Helm, more rookies on row number 5. And then Paul Aron from Estonia, and near neighbour William Alatalo from Finland. Next row, the top Spaniard, a rookie, David Vidales. He's 3rd in the championship, doesn't want to be down in 13th place. Petra Petacek, then Reshad de Gerus, Lorenzo Colombo, 15th and 16th. And bringing up the rear, Laszlo Toth and his teammate, Nicola Marinangeli. And in the topsy-turvy qualifying session, Marinangeli was top in the early few minutes, but then the order kept on changing. With those two challengers, Victor Martin and Caio Collet, working their way around this wet track, work their way to the top of the order. So, top part of the circuit looks appreciably drier than the bottom part. It was a really strange falling of rain, most heavily on turn 1, which is going to be potentially a problem at the start of this race. Drivers are going to have to be on their very best behaviour and hope everyone around them is being equally cautious. So what can David Vidales do for his home race, starting 13th? He's got a big climb to make. Just waiting for the final few cars to get into position. And then we'll go out and get the racing underway. Half an hour plus 1 further lap. So we've had the storm, now it's the calm before the storm of the racing. Average hold, waiting, all lights now on the gantry. They'll flip from red to green. A couple of little switches further down the order, but unfortunately for Caio Collet, went precisely nowhere. And 2 rows further back, it looks Amaury Cordial perhaps was very slow away, but for Victor Martin, that was a gift. The yellow nose of his championship challenger is about, it was obscured, but it's about 6 places further back. So Franco Colapinto taking a look to the outside, but the pole starter has got the move done into the lead of the race, and unfortunately for his rival Caio Collet, he's down in, I think, 6th place, just about pick out the yellow car in the spray. He's in behind Alex Quinn, who's the top rookie. A lot of the drivers going right to the edge of the circuit, trying to find anywhere where they could see. Who can see? The driver on pole, the driver who's leading the race, Victor Martin. Franco Colapinto staying in tight behind him. I think we managed to get all of the runners through the first corner. That's quite an achievement in conditions as tricky as this. Car 93 got the tail hung out. There's Grégoire Saucy right in front of Caio Collet. In fact, just double checking, is Caio Collet in the second of those? Yes, he's in the second of those yellow and black cars. So he didn't go down to 6th, he went down to 8th place. So it's Martin from Colapinto, Hugo de Wilde, Grégoire Saucy, Adrien David. So Adrien David is now the top rookie, just ahead of Alex Quinn. Hard to pick out the field as they go up the hill to Campsa and round down to turn 10. They dive being the operative term. Franco Colapinto now just starting to fall away a little bit from Victor Martin. Championship challenger Caio Collet did well, late qualifying run to get up into 2nd place, down in 8th position at the moment. How frustrating is that for him? Now up to 7th, places gained. Just demoted Cas Havercourt, so the young Dutchman being pushed back down 1 position, no disgraces. Is the championship challenge who's done that. There is Collet, yellow and black car with the green wing mirrors, down into the chicane. Of course, this part of the circuit is relatively dry. Still spray as the race leader Victor Martin leads onto the start-finish straight. He looks as about 1.5 seconds clear. Let's see on the start-finish line. Then, when the track suddenly dips down towards turn number 1, that's when the track gets greasy, slick, horrible for the drivers. Cautious under braking, cautious under down changes to turn 1. So Vincent Martin, Victor Martin, clear by 1.89 seconds to the good over Franco Colapinto. At the end of the lap, Caio Collet still down in 7th place. Oh, a little bit of a slip and a slide there. I think that was Alex Quinn going a little deep into the corner, and he's gone back down to 6th place. Adrien David has also gone past. Yeah, Quinn still ahead of Collet. Circuit here, not the easiest for making a passing manoeuvre. That's in the dry. That's when you can see. That's when you've got grip. Right now, Collet knows it's a longish race, half an hour, but he's got to start picking his way past if he doesn't want to have the championship swinging as it goes into its second half further away from him. He's only 2 points down. Well, the difference between first and second in the race, 25 points for a winner, 18 for second. And at the moment, it would be 25 points for Martin if it finished as it was, and only 6 points for Caio Collet if he doesn't advance from where he is. So this is a situation he has to reverse. He's got to within 2 points of championship leader. He could suddenly lose 19 points, be 21 points down. Position gain. Caio Collet moves up into 6th place, just about gets it together ahead of Alex Quinn in the background. I'm trying to say, I think it was Kaz Havercourt making a slight slip up and running wide down at turn 10. So I'm afraid the young Dutchman on his debut has lost a position or two, just out the back of that pack. Caio Collet looking for his next targets. His next target will be Adrian David. End of the first lap, it was 1.89 seconds. It's almost doubled because Franco Colapinto is now 3.7 seconds down on Victor Martin. Hugo de Wilde, 1.5 seconds down on him in third overall. But importantly, the time gap between Caio Collet and his championship rival is growing all the time. It's out to about 10 seconds plus 5 cars between them. So very, very tricky for Collet. He's got to be cautious, got to keep working his way forward. Colapinto in second place, being chased by Hugo de Wilde, then Adrian David. There, car 17, Adrian David. Next target for Caio Collet. There's Caio, you can pick him out the second of those yellow and black cars. He's got the green wing mirrors. Everyone behind being particularly cautious, but for Victor Martin, he can see what he's doing. He's got the pace, he's got the view. That's why he keeps stretching the advantage. And the worst news for the opposition, he's going even better, the French driver, around the opening stage of this lap number 4. The spray still epic in the face of the chasing pack. Caio Collet, number 1. Started this race second, did not get away at all, finally got it hooked up and fallen back to 8th place on the opening lap. Hunting down Adrian David. Getting close, but not close enough to make a move. Again, get up to the higher parts of the circuit and suddenly it looks almost like a dry track. Through turn 13 they go. Let's take a look at the start, going nowhere fast, number 1. Got it hooked up and lost a whole handful of paces. Someone about 4 places further down the grid, also very, very slow away, and finally got it going at the tail of the field. It was Reshad de Garous who really struggled. But looking at the replay of the start, Victor Martin being challenged by the red nose of car number 11, Franco Colapinto, but had the inside line, had anything under control. Almost impossible to see Caio Collet. He's further back in the spray, turning in now, just inside Tiemann van der Helm, Tiemann in the blue and gold metallic car. So the car that started second, way down the order, towards the foot of the top 10. He gained a few more places, but so far, with nearly 4 laps run, he's only up to 6th. Colapinto making a bit of a gap now over Hugo de Wilde. Then Gregoire Saucy, then Adrian David. And then Caio Collet pushing, probing. Turn 5, not an overtaking place in particular, but number 1, Caio Collet, closes. All over the tail now of Adrian David. He'll be thinking, where's the possible point to make a move? Down the hill into turn 10, bit of a risk, we'll have to see. Down through the kink at turn 6 they go. 7 and 8, twisting up the hill. The tails of the cars coming around when they just run a little bit wide and clip the curbing, even wetter than the surface of the circuit itself. A wide line from Caio Collet over the top of the crest at Campsa. But again, so hard to see in the background. Where is he? He's still behind Adrian David. Is he thinking about a passing manoeuvre? I thought it might come into turn 10, and he's done precisely that. Oh, shall I predict another one? It's up to 5th now for Caio Collet. His next target Gregoire Saucy and 4th place. When he says 4th place, he thinks of 12 points rather than the 10 he's on at the moment. He's still, if they finish as they are, standing to lose 15 positions in his championship, 15 points in his championship battle with Victor Martin. Victor stroking clear, 5.8 seconds the good last time around. Fastest lap of the race in the bag. 1 minute 59.5 is his best lap. No one else beneath 2 minutes. These times will come down. I do fancy the track is drying every time this field goes around. And another 1.5 seconds gained by our race leader. Now 7.3 seconds the good over Franco Colapinto. Hugo de Wilde just another 2 seconds back in 3rd, then another 0.6 of a second back to Gregoire Saucy in 4th, with Caio Collet just 1.1 seconds down on him, catching all the time. There's Caio Collet, car number 1. The Brazilian has exerted caution. He's got more than 20 minutes remaining. Should be able to pick off a couple more. He's up to 5th. Can he get onto the podium? Running deep at turn 5. Obviously decided that was going deep into the corner rather than turning down. You're on the upper side of the bowl. It should be the drier part. And David, having been passed almost a lap ago at turn 10, is now falling off the tail of Collet. Collet getting closer over the crest of the hill at Camps. He took a wide line last time to carry more momentum over the crest of the hill, and then had enough in position to pull out of the spray of Adrien David. He possibly didn't see him until it was quite late and wasn't able to move over and block the move. And we have car 53 going a bit of rally cross. That's Lorenzo Colombo for one of the 3 Bitec entries, but gets it going all over again. That was at turn number 5. Rejoins the circuit. That should shuffle him down to the back of the pack. Cars 91 and 12 at T10, investigated after the race. Car number 91 is being driven by Paul Aron, and number 12 is Kaz Havercourt at turn 10. That's the corner at the end of the infield straight, the downhill approach. I did see Kaz Havercourt running wide a handful of laps ago. Presumably that's the moment that was being discussed or is under investigation. Didn't see the incident, saw the potential aftermath. But for Kaz Havercourt, that when he's running in 9th position, it did move him down to about 11th. So the young Dutchman able to pick his way forward a little bit. That's encouraging on his debut. 9.5 seconds. The number gets larger all the time. That's Victor Martin pulling clear of the lead of the race. Then Franco Colapinto has got plenty of company. He's got Hugo de Wilde just under 2 seconds down behind him, but then there's half a second back to Gregoire Saucy, and an almost identical margin back to Caio Collet. There is Collet, number 1. On his black and yellow race GP livery. So tricky as the field pours down the hill. But let's go down to the pits just to find out how wet it is, because Gemma's caught up with Thibaut.
Thibaut, what happened for Caio at the beginning?
Yeah, unfortunately he stalled at the start, so I dropped to P10. We are trying to catch up as many positions as possible.
He seems to be doing a good job of picking his way through the field.
I think the pace is good. We're able to go through, but we'll see where we finish.
It's not easy conditions to be doing this in.
No, but it's his job.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So there's an answer to the question. The driver who lost ground, one of the drivers who lost ground, I think David Vidales, is running in 10th place. But for Race GP, their driver who went back was Petro Petacek, in fact, was the driver who didn't get it away from his position on the grid, working their way forward. But for Caio Collet, well, didn't quite stall, but just got stuck, fell, as we heard, down to 10th place, up to 8th by the end of the opening lap, then 6th, then 5th. Now he's into 4th. He's just gone past Gregoire Saucy. Next target, another ART Grand Prix car. So let's see, 9.8 seconds become 11.1 seconds for the championship leader. Franco Colapinto still in 2nd place. He's got about a 2-second advantage, just less, to Hugo de Wilde, who's now got Caio Collet closing in, and 93 in the background. Gregoire Saucy, very close to losing another place, as number 17, Adrien David, got in close into turn 1, almost ambushed him, popped out of the spray, with Gregoire just sort of regathering his thoughts, having lost that position to Caio Collet. It sort of always is going to happen. Collet just that bit faster That's why he's challenging for championship position. So Collet down to 10th at the start, having started second. That would have been good only for 1 point. He's now got himself up to potential 12 points in fourth. He's not going to be happy with that. He's going to go after third, and he can grab 15th. And every point, every position he gets will reduce the disadvantage that he's going to have to his championship rival, Victor Martin, who is galloping clear. And one does wonder what sort of pace could Caio Collet produce if he was running ahead of these other cars, because all along Victor Martin is stretching his advantage over second place, over Franco Colapinto, stretching it, making it look easy. But if Caio Collet could get clear, could he lap at the same pace? One feels he could. This is a replay of moving ahead of number 93, Gregor Saucy. The happy hunting ground for him is a good line through Campsa at turn 9 and then make the move done. Ooh, a little bit of contact between the pair of them between turns 10 and 11. The move was completed. I can't tell if that was intentional or not. Looked a little bit rough and tough between Caio Collet and Gregor Saucy. Of course, Saucy, one of the teammates to the race leader, the championship leader, Victor Martin. And the track's certainly drier when you get to the chicane, turns 14 and 15, than it is at the start of the lap. Again, a little bit of spray as they come onto the start-finish straight. That's Hugo de Wilde, the red, white and black Arden entry. That's car 27. In behind, Caio Collet, the yellow and black car from Race GP, just under half a second down. Gap first to second, have to keep mentioning it's gone out now to nearly 12.4 seconds. Caio Collet looking up the inside, not just looking up the inside, trying to go up the inside, but Hugo de Wilde wouldn't have that into turn 1. Came across, but de Wilde is under no misapprehensions. He's being pushed, he's being harried, he's being chased. Will he be passed? Yes, he will. We're only halfway through this race. And now, interesting lines being performed there by the driver in second place, MP Motorsports' Franco Colapinto, almost though he's looking for the dry line. Obviously very wet at the bottom of the circuit, but various parts a little, you know, it's getting appreciably drier. Still spray coming off the cars, but turn 5, down the hill they go. Don't go on the curbs if you possibly can when the track's drying, but the curbs just don't. And in the battle for third is Hugo de Wilde for Arden. Race GP's Caio Collet. Caio's very, very good on this little section of the circuit. Up to the top of the hill, he takes a wider line sometimes at Campsa. Tries to carry more momentum around the outside. Down the slope, he's passed 2 rivals. Oh, in the background, big sideways moment from Gregor Saucy at the top of Campsa. Not close enough. Yes, close enough for Caio Collet. He's worked that 3 times now, but he's deep into the corner. But unfortunately for Hugo de Wilde, not able to come back at him on the exit. That was covered. So, second on the grid became 10th in the disastrous start for Caio Collet. Got up to third with that great move on Hugo de Wilde. So he's on the podium. He's now got to find 1 and a bit seconds to see if he can at least retrieve second place, get it back from Franco Colapinto. Don't forget, Caio Collet really delighted after qualifying to get into that second place on the grid alongside the 92 entry from Victor Martin, his championship rival. Victor Martin takes turn 1. Impossible to tell anyone else coming. It's the red nose of Franco Colapinto, tucked in behind, I expect. Oh no, some distance behind is Caio Collet in third. Such is the advantage. 14.4 seconds now between Victor Martin and Colapinto, who is the best of the rest. Good little scraps in behind. That's way down the order. That's William Alatalo just ahead of Amaury Cordial through the murk and the mist. They're fighting over 13th and 14th positions, but having a great little scrap side by side. They come down into turn 1, and for now Cordial has to make do with running around in a place he wouldn't want to be, down in 14th place. Anyone who lost ground at the start of the race would be kicking themselves so hard at the best of times, but in the wet here, when you can see precious little, it's a real disaster to be so far back. And Cordial was the other car that was really, really slow at the start, like Caio Collet. He started very poorly indeed and went from 6th down to the very back of the field, fighting his way back up in number 71. He qualified 6th. He shouldn't be fighting over 14th place. Shows what a bad start can do. Number 3, Petr Petacek, William Alatalo tucked in behind him, and in behind him, Amaury Cordial. Less than a second between 12th and 14th places. Cars still so hard to spot out around the circuit in the gloom, in the hanging moisture. Amaury Cordial at the back of this little pack we're looking at very nearly got the move done, but just couldn't get the power down. William Alatalo moved across quite legitimately and blocked him as they went between turns 10 and 11. And actually bought a little bit of breathing space for number 3, Petr Potacek. But in terms of pace, I think the two cars behind him are naturally faster. But they've got to find a way of proving it, find a gap to perform this. First to second, time to check the advantage down to it's out again, but the advantage not growing quite as much. 14.785 seconds is the lead. Victor Martin over Franco Colapinto. Colapinto 11, still in second place, but for how much longer? Caio Collet up from 10th, up to 3rd now. Now he's looking for second place. He's got plenty of time in this race to go. 30 minutes plus one further lap. So we've had 30 minutes at the start of the race. We're down to just 11 minutes left in this race, plus the bonus lap. Could be absolutely vital for Caio Collet. Give him one extra chance to get up into second place. Even if he gets into second, he's not going to catch the race leader because the gap is so big to Victor Martin. But all you can do when you've really made a mess at the start and fallen almost out of the points is try and get as many as you can, and they will be the 18 points for second place. That's what Caio Collet's looking for. He's passed 3 rivals down into turn 10. 1, 2, 3. He's passed 4 rivals down into turn 10. And again, he runs a little bit wide, but the MP Motorsport racer, Franco Colapinto, wise to that and decides no time to knock wheels or clash side pods and cedes the position. So Colapinto, the Argentinian, back to 3rd place. And for Caio Collet, up into 2nd place. And a potential 18 points. The new sense, the track continues to dry because the middle sector time for Victor Martin was the best anyone's done during the course of this race. And again, drivers trying to stay off the curbing through that final corner. And Caio Collet, having got ahead of Franco Colapinto, nearly a second to the good when they crossed the start-finish line at the end of the lap number 10. 17 seconds is the lead for Victor Martin. And it's an astonishing shot, that rear view down the start-finish straight. Pits on the right-hand side as you look at it now. We're flipped around to look the other way. Not a great deal of spray, and suddenly just a wall of spray once they get to halfway down the pits. Amazing how localised that heavy rain was. The rest of the circuit got a little bit of a sprinkle, but turn 1, the second half of the pit straight, nowhere important, just where you're doing your highest speed and then your heaviest braking. These drivers have done well to keep it on the black stuff, the wet and shiny black stuff. Great little scrap. It doesn't matter the fact it's way down the order for sort of 12th to 14th places, but it's a chance for these young drivers to constantly learn lessons, either good ones or bad ones, that they will take to the next stage of their career. And glancing down the ages of these drivers, I mean, to be 20 years old, you might as well be sitting smoking your pipe by the fire. Most of the drivers are 16, 17, and at a pinch, 18 years of age, coming with huge karting careers. But Formula Renault, 50 years the championship. Now, one of the Bitec cars has done that horrible thing, which is dropping gravel on the track, having had a moment in the beach. That's Nicola Marinangeli, car number 52. Just a tiny error behind his own teammate there, and behind Laszlo Toth, they were just covered by 0.7 of a second, but just didn't get the braking done for turn number 5. And it's going to have to do it all over again. He's now dropping stones on the track, and he's stone last as well for good effect, because Richard de Guerus, who had a little moment earlier, has now swept past him. The track definitely drying out. We're now starting to see some slightly faster times, and Caio Collet, having got up into that second place, is now actually just banged in the fastest lap of the race. He's reduced the advantage to the championship leader, to the race leader, But I mean, we're still talking 17.2 seconds, and as he hunts him down around this lap, I'm sure it's going to come down more. There's Caio Collet in number 1, number 11 back into 3rd place and falling away. Franco Colapinto. In fact, I think he's going to have to watch, because it looks like a charge is coming from Hugo de Wilde. Caio Collet just looking so much quicker into turn 5 and then off down the hill. The top rookie is car number 17. Just back of the shot there. That's Hadrian David, the 2nd black and yellow car. He's 6th overall to be the top rookie, just with Alex Quinn right up his tailpipe and Paul Aron. They're the top 3 rookies. So just remember in this race that Victor Martin got to about 18 and a bit seconds to the good when Franco Colapinto was trying to hang on to 2nd place, but now it's coming down. Caio Collet, who started 2nd, all but stalled on the grid, was 10th on the opening lap, 8th at the end of the opening lap, got up to 3rd, now into 2nd, now chasing off after the race leader. Time on the clock, 6 minutes remaining. Time interval last time around 17.2 seconds, but on this lap, fastest of all goes Caio Collet in the 1st sector, fastest of all in the 2nd sector. He's going to take another half second, I would think, out of the leader's advantage at the end of this lap. So Victor Martin in 92 leads onto another lap. The gap was 17.2 seconds. Is it going to be 16 point something? 17.2 seconds. So all the time that Caio Collet gained at the first part of the lap, he lost in the 3rd and final and driest sector onto the start-finish straight. And there comes Collet down into turn number 1. But their lap times so close to each other. In fact, the new fastest lap of the race going to the race leader Victor Martin by 44 thousandths of a second slower was the response from Caio Collet. Other drivers up and down the field improving their pace at various points around the lap. It is drying out. You can see all the spray, but it is far drier than it was at the start of the race. All relative though, it was hideous at the start of the race. Again, in the first part of the lap, Caio Collet takes a chunk of time out of the race leader, but the clock counting down 30 minutes. This race plus 1 further lap. But unfortunately, this rate of gain, Caio Collet would need 10 further laps to do even anything about getting closer to Victor Martin. The drivers know just how hard they need to push at the moment. William Alatallo still holding off Amaury Cordil. Down the hill they go, car number 38, Alatallo, the Finn. Cordil in that tricky position, getting a face full of spray. Can't always put his car when he wants to, as he gives chase. Just waiting for the next time that Caio Collet goes over the start-finish line. Oh gosh, he's only taking a 10th of a second here or there off the race leader. Victor Martin still 17 seconds to the good with 3.5 minutes, plus 1 bonus lap to be run. He's got this race in the bag, and should he take victory for ART Grand Prix, that would make it... He started the season slowly, 10th in the opening race, not so good. 2nd place from pole, that's not bad. 2 fourths, then 1st from pole, 1st from pole, 3rd, 1st from pole, 1st from pole, 2nd, another 1st. You can see how he got his mojo back. Needs to. This is his 2nd season in the championship. He was a series runner-up last year to Oscar Piastri. Oscar's moved on into Formula 3 and then won the FIA championship in that as well. Good years for the Australian. And a little replay there. Turn 10, trying to get the power down, coming up the hill. And it's car 52. We've seen that in trouble before. Nicola Marinangeli, young in experience, but gaining it all the time, but not all good experience. But you have to just put it in, process it, and keep on going. Victor Martin continues to be hunted down by Caio Collet, but they're almost not on the start-finish straight at the same time. That's how long an advantage 17 seconds is for the race leader. Franco Colapinto started third, challenged for second when Caio Collet was slow away, ran second, but has been caught, has been passed, and is back in his starting position of third with Hugo de Wilde 2 seconds down behind him, so he should be safe to hold on to third, which will put Franco's season a little bit back on track. He took a third place at Zandvoort, but having started the season with victory from pole in from the opening round, he must have expected better than has happened in between when a runner's 6s and 7s weren't what the doctor ordered. Down to turn 1, if you just came in and switched on your TV, you'd think it was almost a dry track. It was far, far from that at the start of this race. Fully slippery, horribly wet. And now they're wet where the tyres continue to pull up yet more moisture from this track, but that was the wettest part, the upper part of the track, particularly from Campsa towards the drop down to turn 10, the climb to Bank de Sabadell, the higher points of the circuit, way, way less wet. And as Victor Martin, 92, entry from ART Grand Prix, strokes his way around the track, the advantage over the chasing Caio Collet down to 16.8 seconds, but dealing in tenths of a second when the Brazilian needed to be dealing in multiples of seconds. Clearly isn't going to be enough. Caio Collet, turn 5, pushing on, and again, front of the car, washing away, but just having enough patience to get it turned in. Oh, a spinner. Don't tell me it's Nicola Marinangelo. It's number 52 it is. He's tried a lot of the corners, but learning as he goes. He's a rookie. That's the whole point of being a rookie in a championship like this. But for these drivers, he won't have raced here in Barcelona before, and all the running in practice and qualifying and testing was in the dry. So he's now found out where the rivers flow. And unfortunately, that is why he's 18th and last in this race. A couple of spins have really cost him. Just having a look down to see the top rookie, car number 17, Adrian David, and then about 3/4 second back is Alex Quinn. They're fighting over 6th position with Paul Aron, another 3/4 of a second back to be the third rookie in the number 91 entry. Just behind him is Kaz Havercourt, red black car from MP Motorsport on his championship debut. He got shoved a little bit wide in a battle with car number 12. So he is car number 12. David Vidales is in close behind him, but it's been quite a good recovery here from Havercourt. And just as Caio Collet was closing in on Victor Martin, but albeit at way too slow a rate, the pendulum has swung back the other way. So we're going for 30 minutes, we've done that. We're going for 1 extra lap, which is in the rules. That's where we're at now. Victor Martin leading by 17.042 seconds. So a comfortable lead. Caio Collet, number 1. Well, he's chased, but he'll be rueing the way that he couldn't get the car off the line and lost 8 positions at the start of the race. He hunted back, he's gained plenty of kudos, and importantly for him, having gone from 10th, worth only 1 point, he's got up to 2nd, which is worth 18. That's 7 points down on the driver who should go on to win this race, Victor Martin, but it reduces the deficit of Franco Colapinto on the bonus lap, if you will. He's done the 30 minutes, fine in 3rd place, but he's lost a couple, maybe 3, 4 positions as he rejoins. Turn 5 is the corner where he got it wrong, and in fact, where's he's come out? Is that behind Adrian David? So that puts him down into 6th position. Oh dear, one little slip up for number 11, Franco Colapinto. He's lost a lot of ground. It looked good for 3rd place. And that means the little battle behind for the rookie honours is right in that mix. That also means that Hugo de Wilde, car number 27 for Arden, will get onto the podium. And in behind, it's suddenly getting a little bit busy, side by side, Paul Aron and car number 20, which is Alex Quinn. This is the final lap of the race. We've done the full half hour plus. We're just about to complete the final lap. Our race leader, Victor Martin, has this in the bag. Fastest lap of the race to his name by 1/10 of a second from the chasing Caio Collet. And that margin between 1st and 2nd stays at around 17 seconds. Caio Collet in that 2nd place. But But for our race leader, Victor Martin controlled it from the front. May have had the pace in these wet but drying conditions to beat Caio Collet come what may, but Collet made it easy for him, failed to get away properly and squandered that second position on the grid. A nice, if soggy, feeling in the cockpit there for Victor Martin. Looking good with half a lap to go of securing what will be his 5th win this season. Even more extraordinary, we can lose the first 4 races. He didn't win in any of those, but since then he's won so far 4 of the last 6 races. This will be 5 out of a run of 7 races, 5 wins, which is extraordinary at this level. And certainly having been second in this championship to Oscar Piastri in 2019, you can be sure that ART Grand Prix would be very, very keen indeed for Victor Martin to get it right this year, and he's doing it and doing them absolutely proud at the moment. Track almost sees dry. Early change up there from race leader, race winner Victor Martin. The gap will come down because he backed off, and the chasing Caio Collet will probably not have done. But that's a win. That's importantly to him 25 points. That's half of his job here at Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. Caio Collet comes across at greater speed. What's the gap? 16 seconds, I would reckon. Just waiting for that to be confirmed. Bangs in a very quick lap, but the gap just coming down at the end. But it doesn't matter. Caio Collet got back into the second place. That keeps the championship battle very exciting indeed. Third place, Hugo de Wilde with that late promotion after Franco Colapinto had his little rotation. In behind him, Gregoire Saucy. Top rookie, Adrien David in 5th place overall. Then Colapinto chastened, coming across the line in 6th place. Third should have been his, but one little slip up at turn 5 after laps of keeping it all together was his undoing. The rookies having a little good run. We have 5 of the top 10 runners are rookies, with that class win going to Adrien David in 5th. Then in 7th place was Alex Quinn, 8th place Paul Aron, 9th place the recovering Kars Havercourt, and 10th Tiemann van der Helm. And for David Vidales at home, unfortunately for him, only in 11th place overall in that run of rookies. So for the Formula Renault runners, not back on track until they go qualifying tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And the second of their races here in Barcelona, similar time tomorrow. But at the end of it all, 16.9 seconds was the advantage that Victor Martin's had over the chastened Caio Collet. Delayed at the start, lost 8 positions, fought his way back to second. Third place, Hugo de Wilde. That was a gift because it was in the hands of Franco Colapinto until a last lap slip-up dropped the Argentinian back to 6th place overall. 5th, though, was good for Adrien David to take the Rookie Cup honours, with the second challenger in the class being Alex Quinn in 7th overall. Some good racing. Kaz Havercourt made quite an impact. If it hadn't been for a little slip-up, he could have been up as high as about 6th place. But we sent out all the runners and we got everybody back at the end in very, very tricky conditions. So for the Formula Renault Eurocup, it was a job well done. For Victor Martin, it was a masterclass in the wet. The wet bit was around turn 1. This high part of the circuit, turn 12 onwards, almost dry by the end of the race. But for these young teenage racers, it was a chance to experience something new for them this weekend. New, at least in terms of this circuit. And they would have found out where the streams flow the deepest, where you can find some traction in the wet. But they behaved impeccably, bar a handful of spins. And for Victor Martin, did not put a wheel on. That's him coming in, car number 92 for ART Grand Prix. Goes over the slippery painted concrete, and look at that, precision parking by the first place board. So for ART Grand Prix, for Victor Martin, that was a job really, really well done in horrible testing conditions. Of course, starting from pole position and staying in the lead of the race, Victor Martin was not racing with spray in his face. He could see what he was doing. Most of his rivals had an obscured view through most of that race, but you put yourself back in the championship in which you finished second one year. You have to win it the next year, or you feel as it's been a massive sideways or backward step. And Victor Martin is going very much according to plan. The lead was small over Caio Collet, just 2 points in the championship battle when they came here. But by winning with Collet second, he's gained another 7 points to add to his advantage. He's out to 9. Starting to feel a whole lot better. Hugo de Wilde just off with the helmet. And at the end for Arden, he got up into 3rd place. So it looks as though it's going to be 4th. Franco Colapinto got it wrong. Thank you very much, said Hugo de Wilde. And takes that 3rd place. But the yellow and black car of Caio Collet, that's number 1, closest to us, closest to the pit wall side. That's the one that stumbled at the start. To get back to 2nd was a fabulous, fabulous drive for Collet, but he will be upset by the start, but you'll be sure he'll try to get it right next time around. It may not be wet for the start of tomorrow's race. We'll have to wait and see. All about a learning experience for these young racers. Slicks and wings became treaded tyres and wings for them this afternoon at the Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. But also the ability to know exactly where their potential braking points were in the wet, in the dry. Where are the points you've looked at, besides your reference points? If you're in a wall of spray, you can see next to nothing. But let's go down and hear for a driver who's done a fantastic job, master of the wet conditions, Victor Martin.
Victor, a fantastic drive. Well done. Those conditions weren't easy.
Yeah, exactly. At the beginning of the race, you know, when you are fast on the dry, you want to keep the track dry. So no, it was a wet race. Actually, we know we had the pace to just win. I had to do a good start. It's what I did. Keep the lead at turn 1 and just lap by lap and take the win at the end of the race. It's just amazing. The car was perfect. When the car is like this, you just have to drive like you know how to do. So yeah, perfect race.
Well done. Congratulations. And Caio Collet, 2nd position. What a drive. From a difficult start, dropping back to 10th, I believe it was, and climbing back through the field.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was even, I think P14 or 15.
Wow.
But the car was really, really good. I think, again, I did a mistake in the start, but I could recover well. And that's what is important. Big thanks to the team. They did a really good job with the car. We were really fast today, but I mean, my mistake in the start, but after I could recover well.
I think it's fair to say, had you not had a difficult start, the battle between yourself and Victor would have been really quite epic.
Yeah, I think we were in the same pace, more or less. Well, both of us were really quick. So I think if I did a good start, we could have battled a bit more. But anyway, we focus on tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Well done. And Hugo de Wilde, that was almost gifted to you there on the final lap, the 3rd place, but still a very important 3rd place. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was an amazing race. I think a really good start, really happy about it. And then, yeah, I had to manage the drivers behind. They were putting me under pressure. But, yeah, finally we are back after a really hard first part of season. And, yeah, for once in my career, I have a bit of luck with Franco doing a mistake at the end. But, yeah, super happy. Thanks to the team.
Well done. Thank you.
Well, point well made by Hugo de Wilde. Expected more from him, but that's his first finish on the podium. 3rd place after runs of 7th and 8th. But look at the start of the race. Caio Collet hardly getting away. Amaury Carril not getting away at all. But poleman Victor Martin leading that charge down to the opening corner. Challenged by the number 11 of Franco Colapinto. Everyone else, well, you can just about make them out in the spray. And it's the 2nd of the yellow and black cars coming down the hill. That was the car that started 2nd. That is Caio Collet. And that was the start of his recovery drive. He picked his way up the order, taking place after place down at turn 10. Just seeing, in fact, in the background there, Kaz Havercourt being shoved a little wide. I think that move was under investigation, but number 1 kept on charging. Nicola Marinangeli kept on running through the gravel, unfortunately, just going too deep into corners. Look, another move from Collet down the inside of 93. That was Gregoire Saucy losing out at turn 10. No disgrace on that because Caio Collet was on a massive, massive charge. And some of the battling down the field, it was hard to tell. These drivers noticed it was wet. They were getting so close to each other, and lack of vision was a problem. Nicola Marinangeli going out to see the camera crews on the outside of turn 5 through the gravel, brought it back onto the circuit, and that put him down to the bottom of the field. And another twitch for the Italian there at the bottom of the hill at turn 6. The long recovery run up the hill for him. But all along, Victor Martin stretching his legs at the front of the field. Then on the final lap, Franco Colapinto, he was third and he was about sixth by the time he got back onto the circuit and eventually did finish in sixth. But it was very, very close in behind on the sprint to the finish. That was side by side. Paul Aron against other fellow rookie Alex Quinn. But at the end, 17 seconds to good. Victor Martin from Caio Collet, first and second in the championship, first and second in the race, and third place in the end went to Hugo de Wilde, by far his best result of the season. So we have a range of drivers from happy Victor Martin to relieved Caio Collet that he got back into second place, having fallen to 10, and Hugo de Wilde just merely thankful that he got that third place when he said finally the form came his way, and in the most tricky of conditions, it must be said.
Vámonos con esa tercera posición, en la troisième posición para Hugo de Wilde. Felicitaciones.
So the top three being called up in reverse order. Hugo de Wilde, Caio Collet, that recovery drive to second place. He passed a lot of rivals, but he was patient. That was important. He could have been pushing too hard too soon and taken a tumble. But for Victor Martin, not worried at all. That's 5 wins in the past 7 races. Is he stretching towards this year's title? The top rookie comes out to join them as well, which is Adrien David. An ART team representative comes out as well to stand to the side of the podium down in the paddock.
Renault Eurocup, con más de 30 años ya.
Waiting almost for the signal. So Victor Martin, the winner on the top step, Caio Collet second on the left, and Hugo de Wilde third for Arden on the right-hand side in third place, and happy with that. And now the national anthems. So the Marseillaise fades away, and for Victor Martin, another proud moment in what could be a very proud season. But you can be sure that Caio Collet is far from finished. There was a slip up today, but he still came back to second place. That was absolutely crucial. We've got another race here tomorrow at Barcelona, 2 supporting the Spa 24 Hours, 2 at Imola, 2 at Hockenheim, and Paul Ricard to bring it to a conclusion the middle of November. Plenty to play for in the Formula Renault Eurocup. So a relentless season coming thick and fast. Started at the 10th of July in Monza, but of course with the whole season being compressed, it's weekend after weekend after weekend. So what you want on a wet day is a spray of some champagne. Victor Martin started on pole, might have fancied a challenge. He didn't have to have one because he got clear. Caio Collet fell down, but he fought back to second. Come back tomorrow for more.